like to welcome Bob Young to the Zoom screen. Bob is a partner at Bowditch. It specializes in employee law. Bowditch is a longtime member and generous supporter of the MBG, from small startup breweries to the largest breweries in Massachusetts. Bowditch provides legal support to craft breweries, cider makers, and others in the alcohol beverage industry. Their craft brewery clients regularly turn to the team at Bowditch for guidance and representation, and the Mass Brewers Guild is very, very fortunate to have their guidance in this week's session.
So we'll start from the very top, which is the hiring process itself. There are a couple hard and fast rules. Most are just tips and best practices. But one of the hard and fast rules is what's known as the ban the box statute. It came online in Massachusetts about 10 years ago, and it prohibits an initial employment application from having any question about criminal history on it. So sometimes, an employment application is something that's grabbed off the shelf or grabbed off the internet. And it may be from, ban the box is not universal in the US. It goes state by state. Some have it, some don't. So it's just something to be mindful of. If you're grabbing an application from somewhere, make sure it doesn't have any questions about criminal history on it. And as you're preparing the hiring process, a question that's coming up more and more is, how do we diversify our pool of applicants? Most jobs come by word of mouth, which by definition means you're restricted to a certain network. How do we break out? How do we go beyond that to get a broader base of candidates applying for open jobs? One option is to prominently display the organization's commitment to diversity. Not just on the website, but also on the individual job posting. Let folks know that the doors are open and you're welcoming anyone to come in. Another thing to consider is the language used in a job description or a job posting. There have been some studies that descriptions that talk about, we're looking for strong leadership skills provokes a different reaction in different groups of people. Some are less inclined to respond to a posting using that type of language. Instead, consider something like effective leadership, because really that's what we're looking for. And seek out underrepresented groups. Whether it's through trade groups, community organizations, or local schools and colleges, there are organizations, for underrepresented groups, and reaching out to them as an employer saying, hey, here are the opportunities that we have, is a great way to get in front of them and hopefully encourage folks to check out your brewery and check out your options. Another option for diversifying hiring, of course, is blind hiring, which is some employers are adopting. There are a couple ways one could go with that. One way is to disregard resumes altogether and have a kind of freestanding job application system, open-ended questions, open response questions that the individual will fill out to describe why they want to come work here, or what skills they have, things of that nature, but it's completely de-identified. So the decision makers, when they get the information, will not know who exactly it is until much later in the process. Kind of a scaled back version of blind hiring is to still use the traditional resume, but have the decision makers receive a redacted version of the resume with identifying information stripped out, at least again at the beginning stages. So the focus again is on the person's qualifications, not maybe what their name sounds like.